The Norway class entered service sometime in the 2370s. Its length is close to 365 metres and its appearance shares some similarities to Voyager. It is, however, unusual. The engineering section is very short and it is built upon the main hull. A large gap between the nacelles gives access to the shuttle bays. It has very powerful engines for its size and is capable of doing warp 9.7. This was directly linked to emerging engine technologies which allowed more power in a smaller space. The deflected dish is built into the main hull and not the engineering section like on many other ships. For armament, it has 6 phaser emitters on the main hull and 2 photon torpedo launchers, one fore and one aft. After the battle with the Borg showed a combat shortcoming in Federation ships, a call was made for new designs. The Akira, Sabre, Steamrunner and Norway were the result. The Norway is small, fast and has a very low profile compared to many of the other ships in Federation service. The model comes nicely packed in a basic box with clear plastic. You can see the ship within straight away. It has a small glossy booklet which in this case has more info on first contact than it does on the ship itself. But that's because the ship has not been very popular on screen with only a couple of appearances, and yet it is one of my favourite designs to date. I think it's a shame we have not gotten to see it front and centre at some point in an episode. It is certainly one of the more modern Starship designs. They started to move away from the older saucer and high nacelles to a more streamlined look. So do I think they should all go this way? Absolutely not. It's a big setting and there is more than enough room for the older traditional designs alongside these. They hold different appeals. While I do love the sleekness of this ship with its horizontal nacelles, curved main hull and short overall size, so do I love the Miranda class, and I might be one of the few who truly digs the Oberus class. This is a die-cast and plastic model from Eaglemoss. As a modeller, I obviously love to paint and build stuff, to put my own individual touch on things. But honestly, I really like this series. They are for the most part well made, with only a couple of shortcomings. One is a seam line on both nacelles, where the 2 plastic pieces were joined, and the other is the stand. The stand itself displays the ship really well, but it's easy to bump them and they fall out of it. If it falls off the shelf, it can be damaged. I like the metal of these ships. They feel nice and weighty. The paint jobs are really good, but they are very clean. If you want a ship that's been in service for a long time, you won't find one here. Even the merchant ships have clean paint jobs. Some ships it makes sense that they have no weathering, but for some of the others it would have been nice. But that isn't a deal breaker. The ships are not to scale. This has annoyed some people, but honestly I don't think they could have easily done that. Instead they went for an overall similar size per model, big enough to show off the design and detail but not take up huge amounts of space. The line ideal wasn't scale accuracy. If you're a completionist then you will want this model. If, like me, the design speaks to you, then it is totally worth picking up. If you think though that you might only be able to pick up a few, then you might be better going for some of the more iconic ships available. But at $39 Canadian, I think they are well worth the money.